If you broke right now and you don't know which way to go, you don't know what to do, you've been asking folks, you've been applying for loans, you've been going to different banks, you've been trying to figure it out, but you just can't seem to work it out. If you don't know where your next dollar coming from, you don't know where your next meal coming from. You broke right now, it's time to put Jesus in your boat. You've been praying, but you're not taking your hands up off of it. You're praying and asking for help, but you're still trying to do it yourself instead of sitting still and listening to the next move God have you to make in order to get out of that poor situation, in order for him to feed you, in order for you to receive your wealth inheritance of the kingdom of heaven. God say he blesses the poor. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You're not broke forever. You're just in a poor situation at the moment. But there's a wealth inheritance for you if you just learn to trust God. You got $1 in your pocket. Listen to me. Let me tell you how good God is and how much he take care of his children, those that diligently seek after him. This is how God will bless you. God will tell you if you trust in him and get in his presence. No matter what you lack, and you got to listen to God and what he said do. God is so good, he'll tell you to take that last dollar you got, put in a collection plate, and before you leave the church house, before you walk through those doors, he will send somebody to slip $100 in your hand to bless you because you trusted him with your last. If you broke right now, that's just where you need to be. If you lacking right now, that's just where you need to be. For God to mend you and mold you and strengthen you. Strengthen your faith. You asking for more, but God said you're not ready for more because you're not trusting him with the little that you do have. You broke right now. You got to put all your faith and trust in God with all that you have. You got to bring Jesus on that boat with you. You're sailing, but you're sailing alone. You're sailing and ain't no waves moving. You're sailing and the sea is just, you don't even know, you're just sitting there. The waves not even bringing you nowhere. You need some waves in order to get somewhere. You need a storm in order to get somewhere. That storm you in right now is supposed to get you to your destination. Do you hear me? Stop complaining in your storm. Stop complaining. God won't move until you take your hands. You got to take your hands up off of them paddles. You got to let God stir that boat. You got to put Jesus in that boat with you. When Jesus, when they was complaining about how the waves was just so heavy, listen to me, Jesus was at the bottom of the boat sleeping. Why are you worried? Why are you complaining? Where's your trust? If I ever never trusted God before with my finances, and I'm telling you, I have less than what I had, say 5 years ago, all the years before that, making thousands of dollars a week, still broke, still living paycheck to paycheck because I did not trust God with my money. God knew he had better plans for me. I even know. I didn't even know what I was capable of. I didn't even know what all God had for me. I didn't even know that I was going to be here encouraging you to trust God. I didn't know that. I was out there spending my money. Oh, I got all this. Not even planning and preparing for what God has for me. Now that I have less, I trust God with my less. And I'm never hungry. I'm never without. I'm not going to say I never been without. It was days I went without fasting that I didn't have nothing to eat. It was times that I didn't know where I was going to lay my head. But that's when you come to God. You come to him and you surrender to him. And you say, I'm tired. I can't do it no more. Your heart is broken. Listen, this is a 2-part message. Your broken finances, and if your heart is broken, you got to get Jesus in your life. You're calling on him, but you got to invite him in. You're calling on him, but you got to let him in. You're calling on him, but you got to let him take full control. Full control of your heart, full control of your situation, full control of your finances, full control of your family, full control of your job seeking situation. If he told you to go and get a job, that's fine. Many people God tell to not go and work a 9 to 5, and that's fine. But if he told you he got a job for you because he got some things for you to do within that company, within that job position, that's what you need to do. You got to bring him into that. You got to bring him into that application. You got to bring him into that interview. You got to bring him into everything that you do. And I don't agree when people say everything not spiritual. Well, what you being led by? What spirit are you being led by if everything not spiritual? I don't care what decision you got to make. Whatever decision from what type of food you're going to eat that day. It's a spirit that leading you to make every decision in your life. Yeah, everything is spiritual. Because there's only 2 spirits that you going to be led by. You're going to be led by the spirit of God, and you're going to be led by the spirit of darkness, the enemy. Because a lot of times the enemy will lead you into some things that look good for you, but it ain't good for you. He'll lead you to some things that look good to you and feel good to you, baby, but it ain't good for you. Yes, everything is spirit-led. Sorry, my phone was shut off, but listen to me. You got to allow God to lead your every move. He's a mender. He want to put... If you brokenhearted, he want to put your heart back together again. He want to mend it. Whatever it is, whatever. Listen to me. And I was reading my word, right? And I was reading, I was reading Luke 6:20-23. And I want you to go and read it for yourself. Y'all have to be an avid reader to the word of God. The word of God is life. And I think if you spoke the word of God more, you would kind of see the light of day. You would kind of see what God has planned for you and what he's telling you to do. You'll kind of see why you are broke, why you are broken. The people that you're constantly inviting into your life. Those doors that you refuse to close. The forgiveness that you refuse to happen. And the certain things that would kind of break our heart. It says here, poverty, hunger, sadness, persecution, isolation, being falsely accused. I understand those things will get you with a broken heart. But baby, God said he can mend it back together again. You got to trust him with your heart. You got to trust him with your mind. Your mind got to be renewed. What are you thinking about constantly? What spirit is leading you daily? How are you showing up every morning when you wake up? When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you even stop to look at yourself in the mirror? Besides when you're brushing your teeth or just wiping your face. Do you just stop and stare at yourself in the mirror? What are you telling yourself? Stop complaining. You got to start decreeing that you are rich and you are not poor. You got to decree that you are the lender and not the borrower. You got to decree that you are the head and not the tail. You got to decree these things that God said you are, no matter what it looks like right now. I know it's tough and it's hard, But you got to speak the opposite. That's what spirit you being led by. Because if you're constantly complaining and saying what you can't do and you're broken, you're tired, and I just need other people to pray for me when God laid the prayers on the inside of you, you gotta lift that up. You gotta bring that about you. It's there laying dormant. God gave you a mouth to speak life into yourself, life into the atmosphere, life into your children, life into your financial situation, life into your bank account that may be overdraft right now. The devil is a liar. What spirit are you being led by? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your cup half empty or half full? How are you looking at the situation? It's all on how you look at it. You got to be grateful for where you are. It could be worse. There's other people living so much worse than you are. You know how children are living, not just other countries, right here in your city, right here in your state, right here in your neighborhood. There's children crying out. Whether it's the parents' fault or someone else's fault, no matter whose fault it is, there's someone always worse than you. There's a parent crying out, wish she could feed her baby right now. We got to stop complaining. We got to stop complaining about what we don't have and who done broke our heart and how broke our hands is. God gave you hands to work. There's some things that he can bless your hands to do, and it so shall prosper. You got a mind. If you listening to this video right now, God gave you a mind. God gave you a mind to think of some things, to create and to do. If you just bring him in your mind, if you bring him in your thoughts, there's wisdom in there to create some things, regardless of what you lacking. His spirit will make some things happen. Again, what spirit are you being led by? You're not broken, baby. You are rich. You are not lacking. You have abundant overflow. That's how you got to speak to your poor situation. That's how you got to speak to your broken heart. Say, I have a heart of love. My phone shut off again, y'all. I'm sorry. I need to clear up some space. I need a whole new phone. But that's another story. I just want you to know that you could get back up again. No matter what you're going through right now, you could get back up again. No matter what you've been through in the past, that's came into your future right now, you could get back up again. No matter what you was birthed into, you could get back up again. Who said you cannot win? Who said you can't have what God promised you? Who said that you can't live a life of abundance? Who said you couldn't live in joy and happiness? Who said you can't never be broke again? Who said you couldn't live in wealth and riches? When God said wealth and riches is in your house. God said he got blessings that he will make rich with no sorrow added to it. Your broke days is over today. Your sad days are over today. Your broken heart is over today. That's how God moves. God said, when you get up, then I'm going to raise you up. God said, but you got to stop complaining about being broke. It's time to get back up again. It's time to get your bank account back up again. It's time to get your mind back up again. It's time to get your thoughts back up again. It's time to get your heart back up again. It's time to get your mind back up again, your mindset. It's time to get your faith back up again. It's time to get back up again. And let me cut this camera off before I die again. I love you, and until next video. Bye.